Hello and welcome to Asia Now, where I bring you the top news from the Philippines, Thailand, and other parts of Asia. My name is Alex, and in this video I'll tell you about a foreigner lady busted at Manila airport, more bad news for Korean tourists in the Philippines, 19 police officers in the Philippines dismissed for extortion or misconduct, and stick around to the end of the video where I share the top 10 cities in Asia for street food. Let's jump straight into our main story. A Swiss national lady was arrested at Ninoy Aquino International Airport, Terminal 3, after customs officer discovered around 6 kilos of suspected shabu, worth about 40 million pesos, about $800,000, hidden in her luggage. The passenger had arrived from Abu Dhabi when X-ray scans revealed suspicious images, prompting a manual inspection. The Philippines Enforcement Agency confirmed the substance tested positive for illegal substances, took custody of the suspect and contraband. Alright, so a little bit different, a Swiss national this time and a female doing this kind of stuff, coming from Abu Dhabi, very strange. Or is it? I don't really know how this stuff works, but I am curious, whatever happens to people like this? I always cover stories of people doing stuff like this, smuggling at the airports, foreigners. Do they simply get deported? Surely not, right? But there's never any follow-up. How many years do they get? Do they spend the rest of like 5 years, 10 years in prison, in jail time? I would love to know if there's a way I can get a hold of this information. I'm sure if I do proper investigation, which I will not do, I'll find the answers, but it's never covered in mainstream media in the Philippines. Whatever happens to these foreigners breaking the law. Staying in the Philippines, 19 more members of the Manila Police District Enforcement Unit were relieved over allegations of extortion and misconduct, an official said on Monday. This is the Illegal Substance Department. So, yeah, I wonder if this is the type of stuff where they maybe take the... Yeah, I'm sure there's got to be a cross, like, story here somewhere, like whether at the airport or like they bust somebody with a bunch of stuff on, like possession, shabu and all that. I don't want to accuse people of something, but surely not every cop is going to be good, right? So it might be so interesting to see like the other side of it, like the negative, the dark side. Well, what happens to all this like confiscated stuff? Just like the other day we covered that food delivery rider being kidnapped by 7 or 9 police officers, I can't remember, for just 9,000 pesos. I feel like this is like the much deeper story here somewhere. And then what seems to be a regular occurrence, NBI 7 has uncovered 3 illegal offshore gaming operators hidden inside residential subdivision and an office space in Cebu City, Lapu-Lapu. Moving on to a Frenchman, Overmeet Paul Johannes Josephus, aka Paul, who also holds Cambodian citizenship, was arrested in Cambodia for a massive land fraud case in Kampot. Authorities say he and a local and a dealer, Louis Duvut, faked land titles for over 200 hectares and scam victims out of nearly $40 million. The scheme started in 2024 when they agreed to sell land but disappeared before the transfer, leaving victims with nothing. Another land deal gone wrong in Asia. That name was very curious to me. I had to go a little bit deeper, did my own little bit of journalism, just Google searches. I found out the man's a Frenchman. It wasn't written in the article, but I'm like, what kind of name is that? Make no sense to me. I never heard such combination of words put together, but apparently he's a French guy. Going back to the Philippines, a vehicular accident in Alcoy, Cebu, that left 5 Korean tourists injured was resolved through a settlement after the taxi operator agreed to shoulder their medical expenses. Police confirmed this is one of those vans. Once again, I'm telling you guys, personally, based on my lifestyle, the only danger I've ever felt in the Philippines was from taxi drivers, van drivers, basically anything on the road. There's a lot of craziness going on, you know? So even if you're in 100% control, some maniac can come across and just like ruin your life, essentially. This is going to spread across news to Koreans and hopefully it doesn't have too much of a damage to its tourist image. Next up are top 10 cities in Asia that have the best street food. Now, if you're like me, I love eating food randomly on the streets, although not so much in the Philippines, I'm going to be very honest, but other countries, especially in Asia, have some of the best top tier, delicious, fresh food. And here's Asia's top 10 cities. Street food remains one of Asia's greatest cultural treasures, and Time Out has named the top 10 best street food cities in Asia for 2025. At the top of the list is Penang, Malaysia, celebrated for its vibrant hawker centers, serving everything from char kway teow to asam laksa. In second place, Hanoi, Vietnam shines with endless array of pho and bun cha stalls that define the city's culinary identity. Singapore ranks third, where the UNESCO recognized hawker culture offers a mix of Malay, Chinese, and Indian flavors in one city. Mumbai, India, and fourth is famed for its Vada Pav, yeah, and Chat, while Chiang Mai, Thailand secures fifth place with its bustling night markets filled with khao soy and grilled delicacies. Beyond the top five, Southeast Asia continues to dominate the list, with Bangkok 8, Phnom Penh 9, reinforcing the region's reputation as a street food paradise. From Malaysia to Vietnam, Singapore, and Thailand, Southeast Asia proves itself as the epicenter of Asia's street food culture, drawing food lovers from around the world. I am very surprised myself that I've been to 9 out of 10 of those cities. The only one I haven't been to is the Chinese one. I don't have the list visually, so I forgot the name of the Chinese city, but I've been to all other 9 cities. Let me know how many of the top 10 cities you've been to. Do you like street food? And what do you think of the Philippines not making top 10 at all? Anything you want to share regarding that? I'd love to know. And then for a feel-good moment of the day, a 28-year-old Good Samaritan is being praised after diving into a canal to rescue an elderly taxi driver whose car plunged into water following a collision in Pathum Thani province, Thailand. Krian Krai Chaisen immediately jumped into action when he witnessed a pickup truck slam into the back of a taxi on Liam Klong Sao Road, sending the vehicle and a 68-year-old driver into the canal below. He broke the taxi window to help the driver climb out safely while the taxi sank nose first into the water. The 57-year-old pickup driver remained at the scene and told Kong Luang police his brakes had failed while coming down from the bridge, causing the unavoidable collision. The 28-year-old man's quick thinking and selfless actions have earned widespread admiration on social media, with many praising his courage and risking his own safety to save a stranger's life. The taxi driver survived thanks to a heroic intervention, though his vehicle remains submerged. I'm gonna say bullshit on the brake story. That's like the laziest, easiest, most common excuse. People say, oh, my brakes failed. Buddy, you're probably speeding, not paying attention, and smacked into the back of this man's taxi. I'm glad that he actually stood by the scene. A lot of times they flee, and good for this man for saving another person's life. One more thing I want to note, in Southeast Asia, I've seen some of the oldest drivers of my life driving, you know. I don't know if there's an age limit, but I guess as long as they can do the job properly, who am I to judge, right? It's part of just normal stuff going on in Southeast Asia. And that's really it. Today's video is very short. I don't have too much things to add, so now we'll take a look at a segment yesterday today where I take a look at some of the most popular comments regarding our previous video. Ange Pobre says she wants to go where Vitali is now. Enzio says give her the Vitali treatment. Filipino farmer life. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the prime example of why men leave their Western countries for the Philippines. No. I left the West to avoid Karens. That's very bad. While Roy says, I would have got charges ejected her from the 7-Eleven. No one deserves that nonsense, especially in their own home country. Well said. And Bai says, I have been to many 7-Elevens in the Philippines and everyone working there is so nice and very polite. I like the odd says there are increasing reports of Israelis misbehaving in the Philippines, particularly in Siargao, while S1 Ojim says, what is wrong with these people? Filipinos are the nicest people I've ever come across. Shameful. Dirty Bird, it sounds like the same entitled Israeli lady that was on camera before that said that her people built this country. And Steve says, Alex, I can guarantee you she would not have left 7-Eleven still dry. I agree. I don't think I would have just stood there while this was happening. I would definitely interview personally. However, I would like to say that people react differently in different situations, right? People have different instincts. And I don't blame that guy recording. He might have been a Filipino, doesn't want confrontation, doesn't know what the heck's going on. Anyhow, that's it for today's video. Leave your thoughts down below regarding any of the stories I covered today. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.